What's going on, everybody? Almost Evil 33 here, and today I have another Battlefield 4 gameplay commentary for you guys, and I'm going to be playing some Domination on Siege of Shanghai, and I'm running with the Assault class, and I'm using the M416 with Coyote Red Dot Sight, and I think I have the P226 as my secondary, and that's all I can really remember. I have medkits and defibs as my gadgets, so enjoy the background gameplay. Nice little Domination game on Siege of Shanghai, so there you go. Now, what I'm here to talk about today is my first impressions of Battlefield 4. And the way I'm going to do this, because the first impressions have been done by tons and tons and tons of people already, closer to the game's release, because the game's been out for more than a month now, I figure I will give Battlefield 4 report cards in 5 different areas. And those 5 areas are maps, gunplay, graphics/mechanics, menu/customization, and my overall impressions. Now, I'm not going to give my complete first impressions grade until the very end of this video, so stay tuned for that. But I am going to talk about my generalized impressions of Battlefield 4 first. Alright, so let's get into my generalized impressions of Battlefield 4. The way I see it, I think Battlefield 4 is pretty much a mixture of BF3 and Medal of Honor Warfighter. And it does have its own unique elements kind of mixed in there, and it did polish everything from Medal of Honor Warfighter and Battlefield 3 that it took. I mean, the peek and lean, the kill cam, the whole aspect of how the squads work is mostly Battlefield 3, but all of the other things that I listed earlier were mostly Medal of Honor Warfighter. So it did take a bunch of different elements from both games, but it does have a lot of its own unique twists on these elements, and it does feel completely different. It has a brand new engine. It is a completely different game, but it does have roots at the same time. So now we're going to talk about gameplay. I think the Battlefield 4 plays very well. So I'm going to start off with the maps, and I'm going to give the maps an A-. That is my grade. And I think the maps are fantastic. I think there was a lot of thought put into each one, and I couldn't really be happier with where they are. Well, actually, that's not true, because some of the maps are a complete mess in the rush game mode. But as a whole, I have to say the maps are pretty awesome, and I think they're really immersive. I really feel like I'm in the heat of the moment. I'm in battle. I really feel just like everything that I do in the game has some sort of an effect on the entire match, and I really like that. I love all of the little switches that you could turn on and off, like if you could turn lights on and off. Sometimes you can like raise these like roadblocks out of the road. That's really cool, so that way tanks can't get over bridges. Just little things like that. I love that kind of stuff. I love the Levolution that's put in. It's just phenomenal. Every map has like this big event that only the players can trigger pretty much whenever they want, and I think that's really, really cool. So I'm going to give the maps an A-. It should be an A+, but the ball was dropped on some of the rush maps, unfortunately. I really hope some of the choke points get fixed. I mean, the Paracel Storm first 2 MCOMs, if you guys have played that, it is ridiculous. If you can't get that initial push, you're never going to get it, and it's just little things like that that have dropped the grade to an A- for maps, but it's still very good. The next section we have here is gunplay, and I'm going to give gunplay a solid A. It's really stellar. I mean, everything works the way that it should, with the exception of maybe an occasional netcode issue or a lag spike. I'm just really impressed so far with the evolution of gunplay from Battlefield 3 to Battlefield 4. I think the vehicle play, on another note, although I haven't had much time in the vehicles, from what I've seen so far, it's very promising. It's very promising, just as good as the gunplay. And I'm just really impressed, because I thought that, at first, the gunplay would kind of be too much like Call of Duty. That was one worry that I had. And then I thought maybe they wouldn't change anything from Battlefield 3, and Battlefield 3's gunplay was very good. But then I thought maybe it's going to be too much like Medal of Honor Warfighter, which I didn't like that gunplay. I thought it was stiff and just not great. But I think they really hit the nail on the head here. I really love the gunplay. Everything is pretty much where I would like it to be, and that's just my opinion on that. So next thing we're moving on to is graphics and mechanics, and I'm going to give this a B+. DICE pleasantly surprised me in this department, though. I thought I was going to be giving this a lower grade early on. Now, currently I'm playing on a current-gen console, and you guys could obviously tell, and there is an obvious difference between the graphics you're seeing on your screen right now and the next-gen graphics. But I have to say, Battlefield 4 still runs pretty decently on my Xbox 360. Sure, it's chock full of low-resolution textures, and servers can only support 24 players total, but I've had only one crash so far, and the game as a whole still works just fine, and I really can't say that Battlefield 3 was as stable as this game is for me so far, because I had just as bad frame rate drops in Battlefield 3 as I do in Battlefield 4, and the game crashed very frequently. I mean, on Metro, it was like every couple Metro games, it would just crash, it would freeze. And I've only had one so far on my 360 for Battlefield 4, so I think that's an improvement. I do take that as an improvement in Battlefield 4. On another note, I will be upgrading to the Xbox One pretty soon, and the 360 version will hold me over to that point, and I don't think I'll have a problem with that. There's still an occasional pop-in texture too, and there's a few other wonky issues that I'll illustrate in a future video that you guys will see. It's pretty funny actually, I just recorded it today. But they will pretty much be ironed out pretty soon, I think, and they're nothing game-breaking in the first place, so it's not really anything that we need to be too worried about at this point. Alright, I guess we saved the best for last. Now we're going to talk about the menus and customization, and Battlefield 4 gets a big A+ in this area. I could not be more satisfied. I couldn't be happier with what they did here. The customization is something of beauty. It's very complex, but it's easy to understand. I always know what I need to do if I want to unlock a new gun, a new attachment, rank up, whatever the case is, I know what I need to do to get there. I know how many kills I need. I know how many headshots I need. All the assignments make sense. Everything is flawless. The battle packs had me worried early on, but I actually have grown very, very fond of them. I like the system, it works, unlocking all the final attachments for each weapon, and getting the silver, bronze, or gold ones, depending on what rank you're at. I like the idea, it makes sense, it works, and I wouldn't worry about that if you're still considering buying Battlefield 4. All the options for each class setup have noticeable distinctions, and that really makes me happy. When I put on a different attachment on my gun, or I use a different pistol, I can see the difference in my gameplay, both in the game while I'm fighting and on the stats screen, and that is perfect. It has just been calibrated perfectly. It all makes sense. I'm so impressed with what DICE did with the menus and customization for Battlefield 4. Meanwhile, the server browser is very nice, and the menus are appealing to look at and are simple to navigate. Bravo in this area, DICE. Bravo. So my final grade for Battlefield 4 and my first impressions is an A-. Now keep in mind, this is just my first impressions, how I feel about the game so far. I've put in about 18 hours of gameplay, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less. I think about 18, 19 hours. And that's just how I feel right now. And all that is subject to change. So I want to know what you guys think about Battlefield 4 right now. Let me know down in the comments section. And other than that, I'll talk to you guys later. I have a lot of Battlefield 4, Medal of Honor, and other games coming your way, so stay tuned. I'll catch you guys later. Peace!